Let me talk to you about how to get a business loan with no sales. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you're all doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to address the topic of getting a business loan with no sales. And I have 7 steps for you. The first step, I want you to plan your business. What does that mean? If you have no business sales, no problem. You can still get approved for a business loan, but you need to properly plan so that lenders can see your application as attractive. And there are a few things you need to do to actually increase the profile of your loan application, of your business loan application. First thing first, make sure the business is legally established. Here I'm talking about the business has to be incorporated, whether you want to have an LLC, an S Corp, or a C Corp. It's up to you. If you want to increase your chances of having your business loan approved with no sales, you need to have a company. You can't just be a sole proprietor using your social security and expecting any lender to actually approve your business loan with no sales. So please make sure you incorporate. And it's best if you are alone, if you are a solopreneur, it's best just to have a single member LLC, limited liability company. And after that, you want to obtain an EIN, an employer identification number. This is very fast, nothing complicated here. You just have to go to the IRS website, and you can either do it online. It takes 5 minutes. They'll just answer you ASAP. You can also mail it. You can also fax it. It's totally up to you. You can even call them, and they will actually grant you the EIN via phone. And after you have a legal business set up, you have an EIN, you want to open a bank account, and then you want to separate. So these steps are helping you to separate your personal finances from business finances. This is very important. That segregation is very important because it's going to protect you later on if, God forbid, your business is sued, right? You also want to create a business plan with detailed information about financial statements. So if you have no sales, that's okay, but you can have something called projected financial statements, projected sales, projected revenue, projected expenses. So you need to explain the sales projections for the next, say, 12 to 36 months. Lenders want to have an idea of how you are going to survive in the short term, but most importantly, how you are going to survive in the long term, especially if you are requesting, say, a loan term of 5 to 10 years. They want to make sure you will still be around. And you want to contact the business loan issuers directly. Do not do the online application. You want to contact them directly. The next thing you need to do, if you want to get a business loan with no sales, first, plan your business. Number 2, you want to strengthen your personal credit. Yes, we're talking here about business loans, but the thing here is that if you have no sales, and possibly no credit history at the business level, lenders will have to make a determination based on what? Your personal credit scores, right? So you want to strengthen that personal side of things. And there are several ways to do this. There are several ways to improve your credit, making sure that you are painting the best, the rosiest picture you can vis-a-vis the lenders. And you can build, first of all, you want to build your credit file. What I'm trying to say here is that you want to actually review your credit history to make sure everything is accurate. And remember, according to law, and this is the law across the 50 states, you are entitled to 1 free credit report every year. You got to go to a website called Annual Credit Report, and you can actually download a free credit report from each of the 3 major credit bureaus. What I'm trying to say here is that if you play the game perfectly, you can actually have 3 credit reports that are free. So you can order one from Experian in January, wait for 4 months, maybe in May. you order another one from TransUnion, and then somewhere in October or September, you order a third one from Equifax. That way, you actually have a 3 free credit reports instead of one. That's just a cool thing, right? Another way to strengthen your personal credit. So after reviewing your credit history, making sure there are no inaccurate transactions or elements. If there are, you just need to make sure you contact the agencies to correct them, or you contact the data provider, the lender or the credit card issuer to fix the issue. You also want to think about not missing payments. You want to have a pattern of credibility and trustworthiness when it comes to making payments on time. Very important. Also, you want to catch up on past due accounts. So if you are behind on your bills, again, here I'm speaking to you at the personal level. You want to, if you're behind on your bills, you want to bring them current as soon as possible. While a late payment can remain on your credit reports for up to 7 years, having all your accounts current can be a great step in making sure that the lender, the business lender, is seeing your application favorably. You want to pay down your revolving account balances, very important. And as you're getting ready to get a business loan with no sales, please limit how often you apply for new accounts, again, at the personal level. Step number 3. So step number 1, plan your business. Step number 2, strengthen your personal credit. Step number 3, I want you to seek a qualified co-signer. This is very important. If you're trying to enhance the profile of your business loan application, even if you have no sales, you want to bring in someone who has more credit worthiness than you, if that's the case, of course. And it really depends on the loan issuer's policy, because many loan issuers and credit card issuers, for that matter, do not allow co-signers who are not part of the business. So you'll have to take a look at the application for the loans that you are interested in to see what the requirements are. One thing we have found in our research is that it's it's a lot easier to actually bring in someone from your management team. Let's say you have a co-founder. If in your business you have a co-founder or 2 co-founders, trying to bring them in, and if they have more credit than you, if their credit score is higher, then bring them in. It's a lot easier than to go out there and trying to hire a co-signer. There are companies that offer that service, though. Don't get me wrong. You can actually hire a co-signer for things like getting an apartment or getting a business loan, but they do come a little pricey. It's very expensive. So, but for those who are listening to me right now, if you're not familiar with the concept of a co-signer is really someone who agrees to pay the balance if the borrower defaults. So usually co-signers will actually come in. They will lend you the credibility, and but you as the borrower, as the primary borrower, is responsible. When it comes to business loans, things are a little tricky because it depends on the lender. Some lenders will want a co-signer to become also a co-borrower. In other words, the lender wants to make sure that the co-signer has the same level of responsibility and liability than the primary borrower. So in this case, we're not talking about co-signer anymore. We talk about co-borrower. If you're lucky, if you go to the alternative lenders on the internet or those P2P lenders, they might have more flexible terms. So the bottom line here is what? The picture I'm trying to paint for you is that a great way to get a business loan with no sales is to bring a qualified co-signer or co-borrower, someone who has a lengthier credit history than you, or someone who has a business that has a lengthier credit history than your own business. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation about how to get a business loan with no sales. And the fourth step you need to take here. So after planning your business, after strengthening your personal credit, after seeking a qualified co-signer or a co-borrower, you need now to learn to qualify for a business loan with no sales. There are specific steps you need to take to make sure that you can qualify very easily. First, you need to understand what business loans are and how different they are from personal loans. Of course, the distinction is clear, but there are specific criteria you have to pay attention to. For instance, a business loan wants to make sure that you are in business that your company is in business for, say, the last 6 months or 12 months. They want you to show revenue. They want you to show a cash flow projection. The lender will want to see also the strength of the management team. And one important criterion also is that for a business loan, especially for a one-person company or a very small business, the lender wants to review the business's credit history, but also the personal credit history of the founder or the main equity holder. It's very important to understand that if you want to increase your chances of having a business loan approved ASAP, if your company doesn't have any sales, you need to understand the requirements at the personal level. In other words, you need to understand what it means to have very poor credit, fair credit, good credit, very good credit, and exceptional credit, because lenders will base their decision upon those criteria. So one thing I want to say here is that personal FICO credit scores are rated on the following scale. So very poor, that means you personally, the business owner, have a score that fluctuates between 300 and 579. You are considered fair credit if you have a score oscillating between 580 and 669. You are considered good credit if your score is between 670 to 739. Very good if you have a FICO score between 740 and 799, and you are considered to have exceptional credit if your FICO score is between 800 and 850. What I'm trying to say here is that if you have a very good or exceptional personal credit score, you are going to extraordinarily increase your chances of getting a business loan with no sales. In other words, because the lenders will see you as a very creditworthy borrower, and they will actually use that criterion to favorably rate your loan application, your business loan application. One thing I also want you to pay attention to really when it comes to, and this is step number 5. So step number 1, plan your business. Number 2, strengthen your personal credit. Number 3, seek a qualified co-signer and or co-borrower. Number 4, learn to qualify for a business loan with no sales. Step number 5, you want to evaluate the key features in the business loan with no sales. And this is important. There are some key features you need to pay attention to. For example, what is the credit score threshold? Are there any fees? And of course, the APR. APR is very important. APR, or the interest rate. I mean, APR means annual percentage rate, and this is the APR actually encompasses the interest rate that they're charging you on the business loan, in addition to all other fees. And what are the fees I'm referring to here? You have origination fees, right? You may have some prepayment fees depending upon the lender. It really depends on the kind of lender you have. And in some cases, you also have other fees, but it depends again on your industry, and it depends on the kind of loan you're looking for. Let me give you an example. Some loans, for example, let's say when you have accounts receivable factoring or accounts receivable financing, they do have other fees. For example, the factoring fee. Or if you're trying to get a loan, if you're trying to get a business loan with no sales, and that business loan is a merchant cash advance, for example, or you have equipment financing. It really depends upon the kind of business loan with no sales you are trying to get. What about credit score threshold? As I mentioned earlier, business loan issuers, they will use your personal credit score as a large determining factor on whether or not to approve your loan application. And most business loans have a minimum loan score, a minimum, I would say, credit score that they will expect. And therefore, you want to pay close attention to this criterion as you look for the right option for your new business or your established business. And you want to choose a business loan that will likely be approved for, especially since your loan application will require a hard credit pull. This is important. This is not a soft pull. This is a hard pull, meaning you will see a small ding on your personal credit score. Okay, so having said that, even if you don't have the best personal credit, there are still business loan options you can consider, and there are also a handful of business loans for fair credit and business loans for average credit. All right. So speaking of business loans for fair credit and average credit, you might want to consider online and alternative lenders. If you're trying to increase your chances of getting a business loan with no sales, try online and alternative lenders. Their criteria, their terms and conditions seem to be less, I would say, less stringent than what you would find at traditional banks. And for instance, I'm showing you right now, we have a few of them. We have covered a few of them here. I'm showing you right now, we have Lendio. So Lendio is actually a loan marketplace that connects you with tons of lenders and loans, making it the first stop for any startup. So in terms of the pros and cons of Lendio, you have fast application, you have a wide variety of funding and lenders, and you have personalized guidance and expertise. The cons, they have high interest rate on some business loans, and the reports of hard credit inquiries. You also have Fundbox. Fundbox is best for bad credit. So if you are looking for a business loan with no sales and you have bad credit, you might want to think about Fundbox. And the pros and cons here, you have an automated application process, you have low approval requirements, fast funding, and in terms of the weaknesses, you have low maximum loan amounts and a higher APR. Okay, and one thing I want to say here is that Fundbox uses an automated application that looks at your accounting software or a business bank account, which means your credit score doesn't matter as much, and they accept credit scores as low as 500 actually. So even if you have no sales but you have some cash in the bank, they might actually view your application favorably. And we also have Street Shares. This is the best for peer-to-peer lending, and this is kind of cool, and you can actually get a great business loan with no sales on this platform. And also you can try Can Capital, and Can Capital is best for merchant cash advances. And the thing is that merchant cash advances, you need to have sales. But again, if you have the right application, the right business loan application, they might actually review you favorably, especially if you can show them that you have sales in the pipeline. Okay, they can advance you the cash if you can show them that you have sales in the pipeline and then you have some kind of experience in the industry. This is pretty important. And Can Capital has a great reviews with customers and a good rating with triple B, and this is kind of cool. So if you want an MCA, a merchant cash advance, to tide over your cash flow needs, Can Capital might be your best bet. And number 7, folks, if you're trying to get a business loan with no sales and you're not lucky, you can't really get them, you might want to consider applying for a business credit card with no sales instead. Okay, because at the end of the day, it's all about funding, right? It's all about liquidity. It's all about cash flow. If you're looking for cash to run your business and you can get a normal loan, a regular loan, go for a business credit card. Why not? If you just launched your business, you're likely going through all of the necessary steps to establish your business finances and fund your business. So why not just consider a few cards? We have a few cards for you that you might want to look into. We have, for instance, so here we have the Blue Business Plus. This is the best for a long 0% intro APR. Again, all these cards will accept startups that have the proper business plan, and even if they have no sales, they can actually fund you. So the Blue Business Plus from American Express. This is best for long 0% intro APR. And if you want to make purchases with the 0% APR, that's fantastic. Intro APR 0%, regular APR 13 to 19%, You need to have a minimum credit of 700. Annual fee $0. You have the Chase Ink Preferred. This is best for a generous welcome bonus, and the annual fee is $95. Minimum credit 700, and rewards rate 1 to 3 points. Welcome offer 100,000 points. Then we have the Spark Cash, this is best for flat rate cashback rewards, and this is the Capital One Spark Cash for Business. Again, those are great for startups. Even if you have no sales, they can actually, if you have a solid business loan application, they might consider you, and they give you a welcome offer of $500, 2% cash back, $0 annual fee, and the minimum credit is 660. We also have here the Ink Business Unlimited. This is best for no annual fee, and this is great for unlimited cashback and welcome bonus. And you have a 750 welcome bonus if you spend 7,500 in the first 3 months. 0% intro APR on purchases for the first 12 months. You have unlimited 1% cashback on every purchase. This is really good. The minimum credit score required is 660. There is no annual fee. And last but not the least, we have also for you the Spark Classic. This is best for fair credit, and the Capital One Spark Classic for Business. And a no annual fee, 1% cashback on all purchases with no cap, and you can rebuild your business and personal credit with this card. And the minimum credit is 580. And so what I'm trying to say here is that all of these cards can actually help you. Any of them can help you. If you cannot get a business loan with no sales, you need to consider them. I'm not saying you will be lucky with all 5 of them, but at least 1 or 2 might be great for your business. One thing you need to make sure is to have a solid business plan. You need to have a solid loan application or a credit card application, and you want to contact the lender, or you want to contact the credit card issuer in this case. So what is the takeaway here, folks? At the end of the day, only you can decide which business loan with no sales will be best for your new business, right? Luckily, even if you have a new business with no sales, with no credit history, there is still a wide constellation of business loan options out there. You just have to do the research. You need to remember that as a new business, your personal credit score will be one of the biggest determining factors in your loan application. So you want to consider your credit history and the credit score threshold of any business loan you are considering before actually going through the process to apply. And if your personal credit is not where you like it to be, you still have options like the Spark Classic from Capital One, for example. All right, so the steps that I just laid out to you in today's conversation were: you need to plan your business, you need to strengthen your personal credit, you need to seek a qualified co-signer and or co-borrower, you need to learn to qualify for a business loan with no sales, you need to evaluate key features in a business loan with no sales, you need to consider online and alternative lenders, you need to consider applying for a business credit card with no sales instead. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I'll speak to you another time, but until then, remember, stay marvelous.